Hey, 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 beautiful people. Y'all know I gotta get myself set up. Same thing every single time. Gotta make sure my mic check. Hey, Artivore. How are you? My stuff freezing already. Okay. How just getting started and it's already freezing. Teresa. Good morning. Good morning. Y'all know I gotta put my watch on. Indoor walk so I can track these steps. Okay. Ooh. Okay, let me go ahead and get this going so I can at least get my warm up. Y'all know I always start at 2.5 miles per hour just to get my blood flow going for at least 5 minutes. So let me tell you about my morning. So I had to get up this morning and go do a lung test, like it's like PFT. So they had me blow into this thing, and y'all, it was a lot harder. They say it's not something you can pass or fail, but y'all, I was struggling. It's like they want you to inhale, blast out like exhale, but like this big blow, and they want you to keep going. Child, after that first one, air was done. Um, so that's what I try to explain to you all. When it comes to endometriosis, it affects more than what people think, and so I also think and I don't know for sure, right? But from CT scans I've had done, they did say that it was affecting my lungs a little bit. Like they saw like little nodules on my liver and my lungs. I don't know if it's from the endometriosis, but a CT scan did say there was some fluid between my lungs and my chest cavity or whatever. So hopefully we'll figure something out. But yeah, that was my morning. So I was up a lot earlier. Yeah, I like to be on time to places, so I had to kind of pre-plan. I breathe so heavy, even doing like the lightest, low impact workout. Shoot, taking a shower is a chore for me. But okay, so today let's hit the weather. Weather isn't bad, so if you're in the Georgia area and you want to work out outside, this would be a great day to do so because the sun has been blasting these past couple of days. Thank you, Artivore. I'm definitely gonna keep fighting. Um, it's definitely tough. It's a mental thing. Like I told you, I have my days where like I try to get on here and be upbeat, and then turn this camera off, and it's like a whole different me. Because it's kind of like back to reality. So this is like my time of like fitness, where I can put my way out of it and just no problems, right? That's what I always say: when you work out, no problems for that 1 hour, however long you're working out. But this is actually a really great day to work out. The sun isn't beaming. I was out coaching this week and a little bit over the weekend, and that sun was super hot. I want to show y'all from my juicing, kind of like the difference. So if you were with me on Sunday, we did juice. I got it in, but you see they're different colors. So the ingredients I used were the gold beet, rainbow carrots, nectarines. Uh, it was a plum cot, I think is what it's called. It's a hybrid between a plum and an apricot. Ginger root, lemon. I think I named everything, but this is with not. I didn't put as much what you call it, beet, gold beet in this one. Is that juice good? It's actually really delicious. I already finished one of my jugs. So what's today? Only Tuesday, and normally I should have another 8 ounce to drink today. So I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. So, but yeah, this is it. And this is the one without the gold beets in it. And then I did juice some ginger root. So this is kind of what it looks like. It has like a greenish ivory tint to it, but this is ginger root. So remember I told y'all ginger root is good if you bloat, nausea, inflammation. So a lot of times I have to wake up in the morning, I take a shot of this. So I already did take a shot of this between today and yesterday. So I just want to show y'all. But the juice is really good, Artivore. Definitely really good. I was worried because I use more vegetables two more vegetables than I did the week before. And so I thought the week before the reason why it was so good because it was mostly fruit. But this one's actually really good. So, okay, y'all. So I do want to, I want to make sure I hit everything. I think I did. But you know what, y'all? I forgot to tell all my fathers out there, happy Father's Day. So I hope you all had a good Father's Day. I have an amazing father. So I hope all of you were able to enjoy your Sunday. I feel like a lot of people probably did a barbecue. But yeah, I forgot to shout out my dads out there. So today I did want to hit something a little different. We're still going to hit health and fitness. Y'all already know I have different topics I like to hit. But I kind of want to get, I can say personal with y'all, because I want y'all to give me some feedback on this. For those of you who work out, if you work out and you take care of your body, could you date a non-gym goer? That's what I'm interested in knowing. Could you date a non-gym goer? And I'm going to give y'all my insight on my thoughts on if I could date a non-gym goer. So whether you're in a relationship or not, don't worry about that. Like, we're not talking about the person you with right now. We're talking about in general. Like, could you date some, like, and this is if you go to the gym. Because clearly if you don't go to the gym, it probably wouldn't bother you as much if they're not going. But if you're like very intentional about like your nutrition and working out, would it bother you if the person, well, I guess you ask these questions in the beginning. So let's just assume that in the beginning, maybe the reason why you started talking to them is because you didn't mind that they didn't work out, or you didn't think it was going to be an issue. But the more and more you get to know this person, hey, Heather, what's going on? So I'm asking the question of, if you are an active gym goer or into nutrition, could you date someone who's not into that? Like I don't want to say they have to be as big into the gym and nutrition as you, but it has to be something that they do. Would that be an issue they didn't? Yes, I could, but he can't be too overweight though. Okay. So Teresa, I think you're thinking along the same lines I was thinking. That's the first thing I said, was they would still have to be in good shape. I get asked this question all the time just because I am into fitness heavily. And I low-key think people sometimes get intimidated by the fact that I work out. But I do low impact working out, so got you. Because I don't do anything intense. So what people think I do, I don't. But yeah, that was my first thing I said, was they're still in good shape. And then number two, they may not like to work out, but they have to like to be active. So that's going hiking, or when you do dates, it's active dates, not just everything surrounding around going out to eat. So, and then this next one I saw was, it says you have to be able to communicate but not convert. So the first thing you should be able to do is talk to your partner and say, hey, I feel like we need to work out a little more or whatever. But from what I saw, it was saying, but don't try to like force it on them, right? Which you don't want to force anything on anybody, because either they're going to do it because they want to or not at all. So communicate, not convert. I think I don't know. I think if we have to have a talk about it, at that point, that means I'm probably not liking what I'm seeing. If I'm having to talk to you about going to the gym, so for me, for the most part, yeah, the person just has to be active. But yeah, I do feel like if we're having to have a conversation about it, at that point, we probably reached a point of me just not being happy. Unless you've been with the person for a very long time, but that's a different story, right? If you've been with the person for a very long time and they just kind of fell off, that's different. But if it ain't been that long and you already having that talk, I think that's a different story. Okay, so I have another question. Um, could you, or no? Well, it's not really a question, I guess, but to give tips. Y'all know I deal with stage 4 endometriosis and adenomyosis. So the way I had the question worded before was, could you date someone with a medical condition? And I think I asked this question before. I think a lot of people say it depends on the medical condition. Um, I think sometimes when you can't outwardly see the condition, it makes it easier. But then I think a lot of times people are worried about the inconvenience that condition could bring to them in a relationship. So y'all let me know. Could you date someone with a medical condition? And then I want to give some tips on if you're dating someone with a medical condition, some things that you can do to maybe help with that. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of time to see what y'all say, and then I'm gonna chime in and kind of give my answer. So, dating someone with a medical condition. Could you date someone with a medical condition, or would it matter what the condition is? Clearly, what I mean by that is it's probably a condition you can't see outwardly, right? Because if you could see the condition, you probably would immediately, and if you didn't want to date them because of that, you probably wouldn't even get to an engaging conversation to begin with. But let's say you start engaging with someone, you kind of, you're like, okay, they're pretty cool. And then you find out they have a medical condition. Could you date someone with a medical condition? Or does it matter what the medical condition is? That is the question. So the reason why I want to bring up this question is because of the fact that I deal with stage 4 endometriosis. I feel like a lot of times, I'll say in my past, a lot of people I have dealt with felt like they were okay dealing with me having endometriosis if the condition isn't prohibiting certain activities. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a good answer, Teresa. Um, so here's the thing when people have medical conditions, and I can only speak really for mine, but I feel like it kind of goes across the board with majority of the conditions. Anytime you're dealing with a medical condition, you never know what your day to day is going to look like. You could wake up Monday and feel pretty energized, feel good. You could wake up Tuesday and it's a total 180, right? You're not feeling good. You could be dealing with inflammation. It could just be a painful day, feeling sick. So I think that's the hard part when dealing with somebody who has a medical condition. Because I know I fluctuate. I've been trying to manage my stuff. That's why I work out the way I do, because working out keeps the blood flow going, releases endorphins. So I try to keep my mental, because I told you when you're dealing with a medical condition, it can get to you mentally. So I did want to go over some tips if you're dealing with somebody who has medical condition, some things that may help. The number one thing I would say is understand the condition. So I would do my own research. I mean, of course, you can ask the person if they're okay talking about it. Which, if they're trying to be in a relationship with you, or if you've been in a relationship for a while, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have a problem with it. But I would say understand the condition, do your own research, because sometimes people with medical conditions would downplay. I know I do that often. I downplay what I deal with because I don't want to be a hindrance or a burden on somebody. So I downplay what I deal with. Um, so just try to understand it on your own. That way, some of the symptoms you may see, you'll kind of understand maybe why that person's acting the way they do. And that leads to my number 2 point. It'll help you have patience. So if you understand the condition, you'll at least know what signs and symptoms to look for, and you can already be ahead of the game of what to expect. But then it also helps with patience. Um, and then the number 3 I already kind of hit was the good days and bad. So, like I said, for me with my endometriosis, Sometimes I don't get a good sleep. I deal with insomnia. So maybe the next morning, normally I used to say I was a morning person. I didn't, I don't have, I like to have high energy when I get up. But some days when I wake up, it's not that. I'm just tired. I'm irritable. I'm tired. I just want to sleep. Um, so sometimes you have to deal with the good days, the bad, and it does require a lot of patience. I will say that. Now, am I saying you should have to go out the way and like cater to this person? No. But I think what I'm trying to get you to understand is like, I'm trying to get you to understand in general what it's like. Especially for me because I deal with a hormonal imbalance. Like a lot of times I think I'm fine and I'm not. Hey, 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 how are you doing? Hey, pal, pal. I don't know how to say is it Gib? I'm gonna call you Gib, okay? But I think I noticed you commented on some of my other videos. So hey, welcome to the chat. What's going on, pal, pal? Welcome on in. So pal, pal, since you missed my first question, and Gib, you missed my first question, I'm gonna ask y'all real quick. Could you date a non-gym goer? I know pal, pal, you used to box. So could you date someone who's not active? Good to see you, LJ. How are you? Give okay, good. I'm glad Give is fine because I will mess up somebody's name. Um, but I'm doing good. Today's another day. I'll just say that. I think people always say they're doing good just as a general answer because anything else I feel like would take further conversation. So we just naturally say I'm doing good. When really my real answers I've seen better. But okay, my question was could you date a non like gym goer or somebody who's active? Yes, if he wants to get into shape with okay, so as long as he's willing to get in shape, you would date. Okay. So okay, they're not in shape when you meet them, you'll be okay with dating them as long as they want to work out with you? Or is it one of those things where you've already been dating, they fall off, and now you just want them to get back in shape with you, like work out with you? I've I'm only gonna talk about the past. I'm not gonna talk about present and nothing I got going on right now. We're gonna talk about the past. In the past, I think everyone I have ever tried dating, no one was really big into the gym, and I didn't like that. So I know we're getting older, so I feel like I have to be a little patient with people not wanting to go to the gym or at least work out because I don't go to the gym necessarily, but I'm still active enough to try to stay in shape. Okay, he wants to get in shape with me. Okay. But I will say that's the reason why I did continue dating some of the people that I have in the past is because they did try to get in shape or they didn't mind working out with me. I don't mind a bigger man. It's about personality for me, but you make good points. I used to go for personality. That get you in trouble. I used to go for personality all the time. I have changed. No, I have changed my boundary. I'm no longer going for personality. Uh, personality. Yeah, yeah. I just want to let you know I've changed that because I used to always say, well, like because I feel like that's an older person's answer. Because that's something like I feel like my mom would say, or just an older person in general, because they understand that looks fade. And I've had this conversation with my parents before, and yes, looks matter. I think looks tend to matter more for men than they do women. Um, and I feel like once you get older, you're a little more established. You're more so looking for companionship and stability. But so I had to change my boundary. Now I'm like, if you don't look the part, because sometimes your personality can make you pretty or it can make you ugly, right? So my mom used to always say that anytime we were being mean, you're acting. She would say you're acting ugly. So I do feel like the how your heart is, whether you're a kind person or not, can make your looks differ. So, oh my God, this question is pretty hard. Teresa, please help me. Can you right here the question because it's a technical question. Okay, I'm gonna write it. Could you date a person. Okay. Tell me if that helps, Pow Pow. So I wrote it out that way. So could you date a person that doesn't work out? But this question only really applies if you work out. Sorry, but I'm still shocked since yesterday. I went to visit a friend of mine. Her home. She lives near my bear family from her first weekend. Oh wow, a bear family. Well, good. I'm glad they didn't mess with you, Pow Pow. And no worry, no need to apologize. I wouldn't want a lazy person. Yeah. Okay. So then I asked another question. I said, dating someone with a medical condition. Could you date somebody with a medical condition? Uh, oh, boars. Why I saw bears? Oh, wow. Boars. That's interesting. Well, good for you, Pow Pow. Let me see. What Teresa? Let me go back to your answer. Teresa mentioned that she just couldn't date somebody who was overweight. And then I got to my medical question. Teresa said if the condition isn't prohibiting certain activities. So the next, yeah, I never dealt with. I don't really know much about boars. So, but the next question I asked was, could you date somebody with a medical condition? And of course, you already know why I asked that question because of what I deal with. Um, so that, so to my people who just entered the chat, could you date somebody with a medical condition? And are there restrictions or like certain aspects of yay or nay when it comes to a medical condition? Um, like for my medical condition, is not something you outwardly see. Well, for some women, it is. Some women get endo belly, where it makes them look like they're several months pregnant. Um, inflammation, sometimes the inflammation can show on outer parts, not just internally. But for me, for the most part, you don't see what I deal with outwardly. So I think first impression, a lot of people will be willing to date me. But then when you understand the medical condition, that's where I think it's gonna get a little tricky. Because in my past, it has affected me not wanting to go out. Like if I have a bad day where I wake up and I'm in pain or inflammation, it has made it to where I don't want to go out. LJ, well, yeah, I could have a date with a woman who does not work out. Maybe she got other hobbies. We can learn something, one or the other. Okay, so she don't have to be fit. Okay. Because to me, working out means you're also consistently keeping up your look. Because unless the person is really big on nutrition, because you can keep your body looking good by nutrition. But if we're talking about body definition, tone, yeah, if the person likes to hike and do like, or climbing or other activities, they definitely keep themselves in shape. It's not just about going to the gym. So I do agree with that. I also have a medical condition. I can't work full time. A lot of men don't like that. It makes me not want to talk to some guys. Okay. So I'm not going to get into your personal business of what the condition you have, but is it something that people can outwardly see? Like, is your condition, if someone wants to see you right off the bat, will they know you have a medical condition? Or does it take time of them getting to know you and then you tell them about it? And that's for you, Give. And you, LJ, could you date a person that does not work out? My answer earlier, Pow Pow, was that they just have to be in some type of shape. They have to be willing to do activities with me. So if I want to go hiking and do certain things like that, I want them to. I don't want them complaining about it. They don't have to love fitness like I do, but some type of activity. I do want. Okay. I'm gonna kind of expand upon that a little later, but yeah, as long as they're active, no, they can't see it from the outside. So I think that's one thing I used to struggle with in the beginning was, do I tell people I deal with a medical condition? Because lots of people like to get it out the way, right? To me, having a medical condition is like telling somebody you got kids. Like, I just rather know if you're gonna continue to be here or not. If you don't like kids, then you probably need to go. If you don't like that I have a medical condition, you probably need to go. So I feel like it's one of those conversation pieces that I like to have early. That way we don't waste each other's time. Because I do have to go to doctor's appointments a lot. Like I have 3 this week. So, and then I got some coming up already on the calendar. And then, like I said, yeah, exactly. Especially if I really start well, one thing I learned now is from my past is that what I used to do is I used to tell it right off the bat. Then I started saying, well, I'll just wait until I think I like the person, and then I'll tell them. I don't keep putting my business out there. I mean, even though I tell you all about my endo and adenomyosis, I just feel like there's a lot to have to explain because a lot of people don't know what my medical condition is. So a lot of times they're kind of confused, like, okay, or because how it's perceived on the internet, people think it's less than what it really is. Like, oh, okay, that's it. And so I think they're kind of shocked when they see all the things I have to deal with behind the scenes, the medicines I have to take, the appointments I have to go to. And I will say, because it does affect your hormones, I can be snappy from time to time. So I'm not gonna act like I'm just some innocent, you know, victim. No. And I think that's where I say if you're dating with a medical condition, you have to have patience. So Gib, when do you normally tell the person that you do have a medical condition? Like how long do you normally wait to tell somebody you have a medical condition? So I had to ask myself, would I be okay dating someone who has a medical condition, right? Because I feel like when it's on one side, you gotta flip the script and see. Oh, I can get you, LJ. Well, I can agree with you. To be active is important. Yeah, at least that. But I'm gonna expand upon that in a little bit, Pow Pow. So what was the other thing I was gonna say? So yeah, the 4 points I made with dating someone with a medical condition is I said have patience, good days and bad days. Expect those because they're gonna have them. Understand the conditions. Actually, number one. I thought that's the first thing you should do. And then be honest and communicate. So if you're dating someone who has a medical condition and something's bothering you about the condition or any question, really, I just feel like it's important that you ask. Of course, I don't want to date a couch potato. Yeah. So I guess I'll move on to that point a little bit. So do you all think this is fair or not? I said people should date what you bring to the table. Let me expand upon that. So if somebody does like to go to the gym, and everybody has their own preference, I get that. Everybody has their own preference. And once again, I'm gonna only talk about my past. I'm not gonna talk about the present. But when I used to date, people who don't work out, I'll just say that, would be the main one trying to talk to me. And I felt so offended by that because I'm like, what makes you think? Like clearly you're probably attracted to me because I work out. That's probably part of the attraction. You like that I work out, I keep myself up. So the fact that you don't, why would you think I would like that? And this is me having a blunt conversation with y'all. Being equally yoked. Right. I just feel like a lot of people they don't care about that, Teresa, because so a friend of mine, and this is really a friend, y'all. It ain't about me. It really is my friend. It's my homegirl. So me and her, we talk well, I would say every day, but I'll probably say every other day, right? And she was telling me about she was telling me about how she's on a dating app, and she was like, I need people. I don't know why I find this so funny, but she said, I need people to start acting like their face. But the way I'm gonna reword that and say, act the way you look, and that means body too. So what she was meaning by that is she felt like what she brought to the table, and once again, I get it. When I talk about money, right? Because when you're on a dating app or you first see somebody out and about, you're not able to see their wallet. You're not able. What's the first thing you see when you meet somebody? Their physical look, right? From their hair, nails, shoes, just how they carry themselves. Are they confident? That's all you get, first impression, right? We're not able to know your education. We don't know any of that. So let's keep that in mind, y'all. Be realistic. When you first see somebody, you're going based off of look. So I got what she was saying because I would get a lot of bigger people, and I'm like, if I look like I take care of myself, why do you think I want to talk to you? Like, how is that fair? Like, come on now. Um, so I don't know. I thought that was funny when she said that because I kind of do agree with that. In my life, I've had a partner who's a smoker too. She used smoking cigarettes. Okay, that's why I said I could date with a person who does not work out. You look amazing though. It's fair. Well, thank you. Oh, and I got you too, Pow Pow. So I understand. I get that some people may not be. They don't have to be exactly what you are. But do you all kind of understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I feel like well, I used to. I'm not no more because I don't have to deal with this. But before, when I was trying to date or just out and about, not even trying to date, but people will see me if they try to approach me. It's like, come on now, are you for real? And it's not me trying to be cocky because I know I'm far from cocky. Yeah. Um, but I just feel like people need to be realistic about what they bring to the table. If you know you don't take care of yourself, why would you want to get with somebody who does? Not everybody wants a project. I see a lot of people who like even when I tried making friends before, people always say, "Oh, well, you're a trainer, you can work me out." Did I say I want to do that? I said I was looking for a friend. Um, so I feel like the same thing with dating. A lot of times people are like, "Oh, well, this person could probably help me get in shape." Is that something I really want to do? So I don't know, y'all. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But I just want to kind of ask you all these questions. I want to see kind of where your mind would be when it comes to could you date a non-gym goer, and could you date somebody with a medical condition? Um, you have to have things in common. And I got it like looking at you. Me too. That's why I say I had to take the personality out of it. I used to that I had to change my pattern because after a while, just like I said with fitness, right? If you keep doing the same thing, you're gonna get the same result. You got to change some variables up in your fitness. And so sometimes the same thing I say about fitness, I have to put in my regular life. And so I had to change what I was doing in the past to get better results. So I had to stop just saying I'm going off of personality or I'm going off of this. Yeah, because that has not been working for me. Because if I start don't smoke, you be active, don't eat junk food. So yeah. Um, yeah, you can't overdo it either when you don't like what your partner's doing. And that's why when I said could you date a non gym goer, I said communicate, not convert, because I think you have to be able to communicate how you're feeling and give them a chance. But I think after a while, you're gonna have to cut it loose. That's what I had to do in my past. I had one particular, I had a person who didn't want to work out, and when we did work out together, I felt it was always complaining, and that hurt my nerves. Like, you can go. And I'm not about to force you to feel like I'm making you work out. I thought it'd be something we could do together. That's fun. That's active. No. So I don't want somebody who's like I always say. I would never want to date somebody who's overly into the gym because I want you counting my calories or telling me I need to get up and go do something. So yeah. So I think I've done pretty well recently. I got to like looking at you for sure. But that's why I say I had changed my boundaries over the course of time with and I'm not trying to say I'm a 10, y'all, but still, we gotta have some confidence in ourselves and know that we want a good looker, not just in body, but face. So I had to up my boundaries a little bit. I was definitely that girl that was like, oh, I love the personality. Child. If I'm single at 65, that's when I'll focus on personality. Who love painting, but she hates gym. But I can get her to paint or to draw. Kinda, pow pow. That ain't enough energy for me. I need some real calories coming off. But look, I don't know. It depends on what the person looks like. It depends on. I said, are they still in good shape? That was my first thing I said. Are they just still in good shape? Everybody does things differently. Y'all see how I work out? I'm not your typical intense. I don't go to the gym. So I feel like what I do is a lower form of working out. I'm on a walking pad. That's my form of cardio for today. So, uh, so I don't know. It's to each his own, right? Date who you want to date. But I was just curious. I was curious on. I don't know why that thought crossed my mind. I think it's because people always ask me, or even my sister, because my sister is in the bodybuilding world. They always ask her, is her partner also a bodybuilder? Because they feel like, because the way bodybuilders normally look, that and how intense their workouts only are, that normally another bodybuilder would kind of understand your lifestyle a little more. Because when they're prepping for shows and getting ready, it can get very intense. So we always get asked that question when it comes to fitness. Is like, would we date someone who's not into the gym like that? So yeah, I'm just curious on y'all thoughts. And of course, you already know why I asked about the medical condition. I've been dealing with mine. Love will make you do weird things. I think, Rose. Okay. Hey, well, I gotta fall in love first in order for that to maybe do some crazy things. So, but I definitely get what you're saying. I think all my past relationships, that's what I thought it was. So I get it. Otherwise, I probably would have left them a long time ago. So I get it. I get it. Um, let's go into some nutrition tips. If y'all still have some things you want to talk about as far as dating someone with a medical condition, or could you date a non-gym goer, y'all can still put it in the chat. I am going to give y'all some nutrition tips. Y'all know I always try to hit health and fitness tips while I'm on here. Right now, I'm going 3.5 miles per hour. Just going to do a walking pad check real quick before I go into the nutrition tips. Been going for a little over 37 minutes. I'm almost at 2 miles, not quite, like at 1.9. It's the walking pad says I burn a little over 200 calories. My watch, a little over 100. So, but nutrition tips. The biggest thing when it comes to nutrition, because remember, even though we talked about hitting the gym, right? I asked you all, could you date a non-gym goer? The biggest thing is your nutrition. If you want to see results, it's what you eat. So I know when it comes to what I like to eat, I told you I'm a snacker, but I will say a lot of things that I like to snack on are probably a little healthier than what most people choose to snack on. I told y'all I like Twizzlers. I'll do the organic blue corn chips with guacamole, pistachios. I do like peanut M&Ms. So those type of things I like to snack on. As far as like anytime I want something cold, I have like the fruit bar ice cream or popsicles. So I think that's what separates me a little bit nutrition wise when I say I like to snack a lot. I think when most people snack, they go for chips. So if you like to snack on things like that, that's fine. But it's about how much you're eating of it, right? So tip number one, when it comes to nutrition, plan your meals ahead. I think the worst thing we can do is come home and not know what we're going to eat. Or you're driving home from work and you're like, oh, I forgot to take the meat out, or whatever. So now you're like, oh, I'm gonna go through a drive-through somewhere. All right. So if you don't have the meal planned ahead, we tend to make quick decisions. Just something that will save us time when we do get home. I'm about to put my hair up, y'all. Please don't say cottage cheese. No, I don't eat cottage cheese. I don't even like cottage cheese. That's funny. Last time, many friends of mine, every time I go at the restaurant with them and I order something with meat, they start looking at me like a serial killer. I mean, I'm not a big meat eater as well, but I do like seafood. I mostly eat fish, and I told you I ground turkey. But that's funny. um, but the reason why I stopped eating meat wasn't honestly for that to save the animals. It really because I just like the taste of it. So yeah, I don't like cottage cheese at all. For one, I'm a texture person, and just the way cottage cheese even looks, that would make me not even want to try it. Um, and I think I'll have to look up more of the ingredients that come inside cottage cheese. But I mean, for the most part, I already told you all anything that's white you want to stay away from. So mayonnaise, refined sugar, ranch, blue cheese. So a lot of those items normally are high in fat. Um, but yeah, nutrition tip number one is make sure you plan your meals ahead of time. So that way, like I said, you're not going through a drive-through. Two, make sure you're eating slowly. I know after I got the military, for some reason I still found myself eating fast. I'm like, slow down. You got time. So make sure you're slowing down. I've always been told maybe drink some water before you eat. That way it fills you up a little bit first. But if I order a pizza, ooh, steak. Well, I can't even tell you last time I had pepperoni. My pizzas normally come with nothing but veggies on it. So I mean, I wouldn't look at you like you're crazy, pow pow. But I don't put anything. Sometimes every blue moon, if I feel like I need some protein, I will add some chicken on there. They're premium chicken supposedly. So plan meals ahead was one. Eat slowly was two. Um, and then for the third main nutrition fact, it was make sure when you do your plate, when it comes to your macros, which is protein, fat, and carbs, you want to make sure you have protein the size of your palm. So that's how you kind of check portions, right? I think what we talked about in the past is that moderation and portion control is only what gets people in trouble. Is for one, I think in America our portion sizes are crazy, which is good when you think about I'm trying to get the bang for my buck. So you know what I'm saying? I want to get the most out of my money. But when it comes to our health and how we eat, it's not so good. So you want to make sure when you're eating protein, it's the size of your palm. When it comes to carb, you want it to be the cup, like a size of a cup hand. And then your veggie, you want it to be the size of a fist. And then for fat, the size of your thumb. So you definitely don't want a lot of fat. So for people who like to eat peanut butter out the jar, yeah, you're probably eating too much fat. um, that's why I say when it comes to eating like any type of nuts, peanuts, walnuts, anything like that, pistachios, you have to be mindful of how much you're eating because it can have a lot of fat in it. I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter too, especially I'll say the one that has a little more sugar in it because plain, like the real authentic peanut butter, is not as sweet. Um, I think a lot of people have no problem getting their carbs in, especially if you like a lot of bread. But that's where you have to be mindful. Protein is where you're going, especially if you're trying to tone or build muscle. Yes, it's good to get carbs, but remember we got to focus on balancing the protein and then healthy fats. So that's why I like doing guacamole because the avocado. I think avocado by itself is just gross, but guacamole makes it, bearable. And let me see, not sports people too. Now they are practicing yoga. Every started. So it sounds like they're trying to get really in shape. So they started being into yoga. They started being vegetarians. So yes, it's like they're trying to get their life together and feel healthy. Um, I do think eating meat is crucial to get some protein, especially if you're not good at doing protein shakes and getting in other forms like beans. But yeah, I feel like certain meats, yeah, I haven't, I told you all, I haven't had beef or pork since I was like 13, 14 years old. So maybe 12. It's just not something I like. But that is something, those are the three main tips I can say is what your plate should look like as far as your macros, the size. Make sure you plan those meals ahead, and then make sure you're eating slowly enough. Um, Remember, the slower you eat, it does help when it comes to digestion as well. So I know for me, because I also deal with problems when it comes to my digestive system and my intestines, that when I eat slower, it's a little easier on my stomach. I'm a vegetarian too, but I support you, Pow Pow. Everyone should choose what they eat and not be pressured into a diet ever. Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand both sides. I've been, like I said, I was a full vegetarian at one point, and then when I started going to the military, I started eating more meat just because I felt like my body wasn't able to, it wasn't getting enough of what I needed to get through the days. So, but I definitely understand being a vegetarian, but I do think to each his own. I'm not against people who eat meat, but okay, let me see where I'm at, y'all. Okay, my speed is 3.5. I haven't gone 3.8 in a while. I'm a little over 45 minutes. I'm about 46. See, I know my goal is always to at least get to an hour minimum. I do try to pay attention to my body. For some reason, I get very winded just from walking. Um, so I do try to listen to my body. I think I told you all, maybe that was yesterday, that I just noticed that my body hasn't been responding well for some reason this month. I did try to do more resistance training, and I think my body's just feeling it. My muscles have been sore, not that soreness where it's like, oh, I'm working out, so they're getting that lactic acid and getting sore. It's more so like that weak soreness. Hey, Jess. Oh, Oker. Why can I never say your name? But hi, thank you for joining. Jesse, thank you for joining and hitting the chat. We just been talking about different things today, from dating stuff to nutrition. Today's kind of a all over the place type of day. I didn't want to just focus on health and fitness. Well, I found other avenues to talk about health and fitness. Yeah, alcohol is so bad for your health and also muscle growth. Pop out. Yep, I don't drink alcohol. The only time I will is for like my birthday or my partner's birthday. But I don't really drink. I got okay, Jesse. I got a dating tip. Avoid it till like 25 after high school. Jesse, okay, so now you got to give a little more context to that. How old are you right now, Jesse? And then you have to explain to us why is that. Why should I wait till after 25? But people get out of high school at like 18, 17, 18. So why we got to wait till 25? That's after, you mean after college? My friends are getting on my nerves, not because they're vegetarians, but they are against people who eat meat because they say meat is not healthy. but they love wine. Okay, Jesse says 30, give time for personal growth and get your stuff together. Pow, pow. I'd love to come out. Okay, so let me hit both of y'all's point. Okay, pow, pow. So didn't you say your friends were not always vegetarian? So have they always been vegetarian? Or didn't you say they just changed into this? So I think when it comes to stuff like that, you just kind of gotta let it ride out. Meaning, don't let it get to you. Anytime people start making changes in their lives, sometimes they do feel like they're better than other people. And it's just because they feel like they're doing better than what they were doing, but it doesn't mean they're necessarily better. So I feel like you just can't let them get to you. Uh, no. Jesse 30. Okay, so give time for personal growth and get your stuff together. Okay, so what about for women who want to have kids and like dating? If they waited that late, you know, the first person you meet isn't going to be your prince or your princess. Like, so you have to kiss a couple of frogs. So we wait till after 30. It's going to take us a long time to find love, Jesse. Don't let your boxer soul come out, pow pow. But women become geriatric at 35, so I think 30 is a little okay. Yeah, Gil, me and you on the same page. Cause y'all, I'm geriatric. Can y'all believe that? Every time they say that, I get so upset. My boxer soul want to come out. I am geriatric, y'all. Who came up with that? Might be different for the guys, but guys focus up to okay. Okay. I understand, Jesse. LJ, I started to think that my partner can do every kind of sport, but if she would start to practice yoga, I'll look for another partner. Yeah, your friends got you over yoga, huh? I know, me too, girl. Yeah, Gil. I'm 37, geriatric. Maybe I should just start celebrating it and not being so upset when they call me geriatric. I refuse to date 1821 at like 24. Okay. I don't know what you're saying. But they're trying to get women not to be so upset about the term geriatric because women are having kids later. I feel like as long as you take care of yourself, I feel like it shouldn't affect like where you are as far as when they say we're geriatric. Like I thought there needs to be like a test or something that determines that. Like if I'm keeping, how do you burn? How do you burn belly fat? Well, first, when it comes to the stomach, it starts with nutrition. So, where do I start with how to burn belly fat? So, let me first say this: people who think working out and doing like core exercises, you're not burning belly fat. Let me just say that. Just because you're working that muscle group does not mean you're burning fat there necessarily. Your body dictates where you burn fat from. Okay. So what you are doing though is helping build that muscle so that when you do get rid of that belly fat, it's gonna show, right? And that's what gives that pop. But it starts with nutrition. For a lot of people, you have to know your genetics, you have to know your body, and you have to know where fat likes to sit on you. So it's all about getting down to a body fat percentage in order to burn belly fat. Because you're not really burning belly fat. Your body just burns fat. And eventually it'll get to the belly. But you can't target an area. You can't just say, okay, I want to burn fat from my legs. Now, like I said, you go into the gym, you're hoping to find those muscles. And then as you start to lower your body fat percentage, that's when you're going to start seeing definition And eventually, I mean, the belly fat is going to drop the more you're burning calories. It's just a medical term. Okay. Not yoga people for me. Years ago, I went to a party to celebrate the opening of hair salon with a friend of mine. She's a yoga person too. Her friends were yoga. Okay. Got you, Papa. Walking and water are all you really need, and people hate both. People just like variety, and walking is good for cardio, but it doesn't help build muscle. So if I was looking to try like tone arms or get my stomach defined, tone my legs, walking does the toning of the legs to a degree, especially if you're walking uphill. But as far as like getting definition, like for the month of April, all I did was walk. That was my goal for April, was to walk Monday through Friday for, I think I said at least an hour was my goal. So I did that for all of April. And then May, June was me adding resistance training. And so now I'm adding resistance training. I'm actually starting to feel a lot better and confident adding resistance, getting a little more muscle definition, and just feeling leaner than I was when I was just walking. But I get what you're saying. But depending on what you're trying to, what you want your physique to look like, resistance training, now that's to me all you really need. Pow. Goldberry. I don't think I've had those. Where are sandwiches? For sure. So, okay, so on the dating question, Jesse, now that you're over the age, so now that you're 30, what's your dating age? What are you looking to date? What age range? Okay, y'all, I'm coming up on 3 miles. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I've been going now. I'm at 3.5 miles per hour. I'm at 56 minutes. Okay, age range 25 to 35. Okay. So plus or minus 5 years on both sides. Got you. If any of you all are interested in the WNBA, I love me some WNBA. Just want to let y'all know there's some good games coming on tonight. We got Connecticut Sun versus Indiana Fever. Atlanta against New York Liberty. And I will say Atlanta's been looking really, really good, y'all. Really, really good. I'll be willing to take 37. You going 7 years up. Okay. Mystics versus Chicago, Aces versus Minnesota, Seattle Storm against the Sparks. And Dallas is playing tonight too, I believe. Don't know who. Okay. Anybody else want to put what their dating range is? I also feel like it depends on what you're interested. If you date men or women, the age differs. I feel like if you date for women who date men, I feel like the age range would probably be older because I feel like men mature and what they want out of life is a little later in life. So I think when it comes to men, you definitely don't want to date younger. Okay, 30. So y'all got this 10-year gap y'all willing to do. Okay, 36 to 46. I feel like with the women, you can't really go wrong with a woman unless you want kids. Because by a certain age, you got to try to figure out if a woman still wants to have them. And so I'm watching soccer. They're playing in the States tomorrow. Okay. So I've only been to 1 or 2 soccer games. I actually did enjoy it. I think it's the fans that really make it fun. I did enjoy learning the game a little bit because it definitely beats watching like 10 and under play. which is the most soccer I used to ever see, was like little ones playing. So going to actual professional soccer game, I would say I will go again. I love the atmosphere. Um, I do want to go watch the Olympics. I know the Olympics will be in LA. So y'all know I went to the Olympic trials in Oregon. So that was fun. And it is kind of different watching sports on TV than in person. I feel like in person you just miss so much because there's so many distractions, just things going on. So I was thinking about going to a basketball game soon. And I was like, I just feel like I always miss the action when I go to a basketball game. That's why I was growing up. I mean, I get that. Soccer. Yes, that's important for you all. So I get it. I mean, that's what football and baseball here. So I do plan on going to some Jacksonville Jaguar games. Y'all know I'm a Jags fan. That shows you all how loyal of a person I am. Yeah, Papas is from Italy. Um, we have a lot of people we have a lot of international people normally in the chat. Hassan's not on here today. Trying to think who else normally gets on here that's international. I can't remember. Um, the games today, they're kind of a hit or miss as far as the matchups for today. The Connecticut Sun versus Indiana. I think Indiana is going to win that game. Connecticut has not been looking good, especially since they traded off most of their players. Atlanta might be able to give Liberty a little bit of run for their money. Atlanta's been looking really, really good. You know, that's my team. I got to root for the home team. It's rare you will find a person who knows how to play baseball. Everyone knows it, and we don't. Okay, so what other sports? Is there anything besides soccer in Italy that people would know like really well, or is soccer like that's it? It's okay, Papa. Your English is a mess. Let's see who else we got today. I think Seattle Storm and Sparks might be a good game today. Chicago Hope can beat Mystics today. Dallas, when the WNBA first came out with the draft this year, I thought Dallas was gonna be on to something. But me and my best friend were talking about it, and I definitely know. Well, when we did talk about it, I know that they just have to gel because they got they're trying to learn each other's plays and how each other play. So I get it, but Dallas isn't looking as good as I thought they were going to. Aces is my team. They haven't been looking that good without Asia. Well, this last game they didn't, but the game before that they did. So that's a hit or miss. Pizza spinning can be a sport. Soccer games get really violent. I'll be scared to go. They serious about their soccer. But basically baseball and American football, we don't know many things about those sports. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to, Papa, you beat me to it. I was about to ask you the same thing, Gil. Where are you from? Okay, soccer, tennis, basketball, volleyball, boxing. Okay. All right, y'all. Hit my hour minimum, but I did say I want to go for 4 miles. So I'm gonna try to keep walking to at least hit that 4 mile mark. Uh, I'm always so out of breath. It's crazy. Papa, I think you missed. I was talking about my juicing. So this is what one of them looks like, and then this is the other. I have to shake it up. But these are the two together, Papa. From Sunday. One of them has gold beats in it. The other one doesn't, and that's why the colors are different. Uh, Honestly, I was being lazy and I ain't feel like cutting up the last gold bead. And I also want to see what the color change would look like because beets take up so much when you put them in a juice. So I kind of want to see, and you can see the difference between the two juices. Um, and I showed everybody this is ginger root juice. So I just want to show y'all who have just gotten in the chat what this looks like. I know it doesn't look the greatest, but it does have a lot of benefits to it. Oh wow, I have to see your last juice video, LJ. When you were prepping it, I was for my life against right. You were dealing with the boars. So it's okay. It was also Father's Day. And I totally I remember it but forgot at the same time. So I know a lot of people were probably busy. Like I know here in America for Father's Day, people like to grill. So I wasn't tripping. It was definitely lower numbers than usual for the juicing. But once again, I appreciate anytime there's a small number to a big number, right? You got to celebrate all the numbers, not just the big ones, because people could be doing anything else, but they choose to be here. So I'm very appreciative. But to anybody who deals with inflammation, bloating, pain, and you want an alternative, just always taking some type of medicine, I would say try taking ginger root shots. I do put it inside of my drink, my juices. So these also have ginger root in it, but I take the shot in the morning and normally I try to see if that's helping with any of my aches. But yeah, I already finished one of my jars already. So normally I try to drink one, break it down for 2 days. It's already gone. I finished it yesterday. I mean, I know wild pigs, they're so ugly and hairy. So were they chasing you or were you just worried about them attacking? So let me know. Gotta move it up a little bit. So I'm at 3.6 miles per hour as far as the speed. 66 minutes. Okay. I got less than half a mile left. So if I was walking on the track, that'd be less than 2 laps. The things we talked about today was dating someone with a medical condition. Could you date somebody with a medical condition? Yes or no? To summarize, we're scared of boars. I mean, I'm scared of most things with teeth. So there's a lot for me. um, but to summarize today's live, it was dating someone with medical condition. I just talked about being patient. Remember, they're gonna have their good days and bad. Understand the condition and be honest and communicate your thoughts and feelings about it to that person. Could you date a non-gym goer? I said, as long as they're still in good shape, likes to be active, and I just have to make sure, or what I'm trying to give y'all as a tip, is make sure you communicate and not convert that person. So if they're not really big into the gym, just talk to them about it. That's something you want them to change, but don't try to convert them. They travel in large. Oh, I didn't know that, Jesse. The next thing we talked about was date what you bring to the table. And for that was basically just saying your expectations should be what you can do as well. And that's in all avenues. Nutrition tips. I gave 3 good tips. That was plan meals ahead of time. Make sure you're eating slowly. And then I gave the portion sizes for your macros, your protein, fat, carbs. And then I also did your veggies separate. We talked about some WNBA games. So if you're interested in those, I let y'all know some of the teams that are playing each other. I think the first game comes on tonight at 7. My region full of boars and wolves, but it's rare you can see wolves. You can hear them but not see them. So I was in LA and going for a walk at night. Yeah, I always saw this wolf, and I think they're just not. They're so used to humans, I guess, that didn't care. This is like in the neighborhood. Luckily, it had a rabbit in its mouth, so I guess it didn't care about us. There was like four of us walking together. I guess it didn't care about us. It went that direction. We ran this direction. So, give. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today was a little off today. I didn't really, I was kind of like just winging it today a little bit, just because I had a lot going on already this morning with my appointment. But I'll get back to more of the health and fitness and really giving some good tips. But Los said Indiana play today. Yeah, I believe they play the Connecticut Sun today. I think that's the game that comes on at 7, if I'm not mistaken. There are bears in the middle and north, not in south. My mom's car was hit by a baby bear. She had one of those small sports cars, and she was driving in Florida. And I mean, there is like a good span of highway where it says "Watch out for bears" or "Be careful bears." And just so happened, and if y'all saw my mom's, she don't have this car anymore. She has a big vehicle now, but she had like a little small sports car, 2-seater. The front of it was really long, so I guess the baby bear came out. I'm surprised. I believe it was a baby bear. So I'm surprised there wasn't another bear that came like a mother bear later. But yeah, my mom's car was totaled, but she was okay. So we definitely deal with bears in Florida. Florida, we got all the animals. My females get big trucks at a car. So you don't care what she drives, huh? This walk was actually pretty easy. I feel like I've had my days where I felt like it was taking me forever to get to that 4-mile mark, but today feels pretty good. I'm at 3.86. Bears in Italy makes sense, I guess, but I never thought about it. Yeah, I don't think I ever really thought about bears in Italy, but I don't think I think about a lot of different animals on the norm. Okay, Jesse. My ex got an uncle who lives in Miami. She told me sometimes you can see crocodile over there. Shoot, what area is that? Like where Gainesville is? No, that's the swampland right there. So I'm pretty sure you can see quite a few. Pow pow. Los. Yeah, exactly. You can find them. Whew. Y'all, I'm almost there. But I thank you all for pushing me today with conversation and just chatting with me. This is always what makes it easier for me to do this. I'm at 3.93. So I'm almost there, almost there. If y'all need a good arm workout, check my one out from yesterday. I did a superset. So we hit biceps, 2 exercises back to back that hit the biceps, and 2 exercises that hit the tricep, the back, and then shoulders. So my shoulders were definitely burning by the end of that workout. Let's see where I'm at. See if I can start slowing down yet. Yeah. So I hit my 4 miles on the dot. I'm just slowing the walking pad. I was gonna say treadmill. I'm slowing the walking pad down now to lower my heart rate. I like to get my heart rate back below 100 and to kind of slow my breathing down. Anytime I do any type of exercising, I feel like my breathing is all over the place. Uh, my lungs just ain't doing what they need to do. So happy Tuesday, everybody. It's beginning of the work week. This week feels so long. I could have sworn it was like Thursday already. Whew. I need a vacation, y'all. That's what I need. I need a vacation. I need to go to Italy. The top places I want to go to right now, if I could take a trip right now, it would be to either Greece, Aruba, hmm, Greece, Aruba, Italy is in my list of places I want to go. I feel trust me, I feel it in AKA hospital since Friday. Oh wow. You're in the hospital right now, Jesse? I definitely have to let you know when I come to Italy because I do plan on coming, but when is the question. I'll make sure I hit you up for all my travel needs. Well, I hope you're okay. Um, I hate to hear that. Hospitals are definitely no fun. I hope everything gets better for you. Um, yeah, I've never been a big hospital person. I spent plenty of time in them. So that's the only reason why I try to stay doing this is because I always tell y'all body emotion stays in motion. Skin infection is what it is on how awful YouTube live is. You know, that's what me and my sister was talking about because I try to come on here and give good content and I try to like actually give something that can help and like I feel like there's some people on YouTube who don't even do stuff. Like they'll just cook or one person was just sleeping. My sister sent me a video of a lady just sleeping, and she had like thousands of views on there. Um, so I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I guess I'm not entertaining enough. I guess I gotta find stupid. So I definitely understand where you come from, Jesse. But I hope they're able to figure things out with the skin infection with stuff to do. I know that can get very bad. Had to refresh. So hold on, chat. Okay. Exactly. And readers, hair readers. My favorite trip is September, October. Okay, I'm discharged soon. Okay, good. I'm glad you're getting discharged soon. Um, that's good. So good. That's good to hear, Jesse. Y'all tell me what I gotta change up on here to get like these other YouTubers because I don't understand. I mean, I haven't been on here that long as far as consistently. I started my YouTube a while back, but I was kind of like on off, on off. So about I've only been on here like consistently, really trying to give it a go since the end of March. I think it was March 31st. So it's been like 2.5 months, but I need to do some psychic readings. I would never do that, but yeah, don't take me among the boards. My heart rate does not want to get down. It's like, do I need to slow this walking even slower? I'm not sure. It feels like a lot of bots and fakes and counters. Yeah, sometimes I do scroll just to kind of get ideas so I can try to like change what I'm doing. So I do definitely want to grow. I think initially when I got on here, like I told you all, it was to help me become more accountable and like because I was dealing with so much depression as far as like just what I've been dealing with medically and you know, just life, right? So I got on here in hopes that the more I work out and the more you all keep me accountable, that would kind of help. And of course, the more consistent I am, it's like, oh, I really want to give this a go and really try to grow my channel. So 1.8 views, 0 likes. Do you prefer sea places? I prefer hot places. Yeah. So yeah, beach. Anything Caribbean. I find that if I watch my heart rate, it never goes down. I got to trick myself to forget about why I'm slowing down. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I mean, it's starting to go down now, so maybe the speed I had it at was just still too fast. Um, People have no attention span for real information these days. Yeah, I think that normally you have to do like goofy things or stupid things for people to have an attention span. I try to get on here and just give health and fitness tips and just talk about the medical stuff I deal with, just in case somebody else is dealing with the same thing. I think it's always easier when you find your tribe, like someone dealing or you can relate to, should I say? So I try to stick in that wheelhouse, but sometimes I feel like it isn't working because I go on. Well, I do realize that I think TikTok, when I go on there, I feel like that's where most people go watch lives at. As far as YouTube, I think YouTube you might have your older generation on there. So when I say older, geriatric, no, it's playing 30 and up. I will say I think maybe like our 30 and up crew maybe get on YouTube live a little more. I honestly didn't start getting on YouTube live, like looking at other people until I started getting on here. So I think YouTube has just always been that solid platform that kind of gets left behind as new platforms get made, like TikTok. So um, I don't know, y'all. I can only be me, and that's what I'm going to continue doing. Like I said, I've only been doing this consistently for 2.5 months. Um, and so I do like the way it's growing. There will be days where my views aren't going to be that great, and there's going to be other days where it's amazing. So I think one of the days I had almost 1,000 altogether. So like the views fluctuate on here. So like it may say 4, then 6, then 8, then 2, then 10, and then once you get off, it shows your analytics. So I think the most I had at one time was like 980. So just take it day by day. I feel like the more I'm consistent, it'll just continue to grow, and we'll go from there. Oh, okay. I live in a mountain city. Don't have square shirts. I'm not a lumberjack. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm not really a mountain person. I mean, do you make shorts, LJ? They say it. So I do make shorts as well. Normally after I do, so every Monday, and I said I'm gonna start doing I kind of slowed down on doing my videos on Wednesday. I was doing like my workout strength training videos on Monday, Wednesday, and then cardio on Friday. And then I would take those videos and do the exercise and turn it into a short, and then I would post it on all my different social media platforms. But the shorts are counted differently. So the views you get off your shorts, they do help you get more subscribers, but they don't go towards your long form views. So when you look at the breakdown, your views, they have one for like your long form videos and then one for your shorts. So I think for like your shorts, you have to get like, I want to say like 1 million views of or something in 90 days if you were trying to monetize off of that. So I do make shorts, and I think a lot of times I only make the shorts really just to try to help grow and bring attention to my page. That's all I can do. Uh, I may start showing other sides of me because I think when I talk about health and fitness and just nutrition, but I'm going to continue to be me. It kind of comes off as me being more serious when I really am like a goofy person. I like to have fun, but for some reason that side of me I don't really show. Sometimes I do. Sometimes y'all get a good joke out of me. Um, Cooking videos aren't bad, especially if they fit your health content. Not everyone knows. So yeah, that's what I said. I think I was gonna do for July. So each month I try to come up with different goals. So April was me just doing straight walking. So every month, Monday through Friday, I got on here and walked. That was my goal, was can I do it for 30 days? So I did that. May was I added resistance training. And so I like doing that. So Monday I post or I get on here live. I do arms and back workout. Tuesday I walk. Wednesday, normally I'll create a edited video, like a long form edited video on Wednesday, and I'll post it on Thursday. I haven't done that recently, but I'm going to get back to doing that. So tomorrow, I plan on working out and doing lower body, and then posting it on Thursday, and then Friday I'm live again. So I try to go live 3 times out the week. Post, well, no, 4 times because I juice on Sunday. So go live 4 times out the week. Post 2 to 3 shorts, and then a regular long form video. That's the goal. So we shall see. But I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me today, talking to me. It has been real. So the next time I'm going to be live is on Friday, and then I'll be posting a lower body workout on Thursday. Okay. So I'm not going to be live Thursday. It's going to be an edited video where it has the countdown. I show you what exercise next. A good video for you to work out with me. So I'll be posting that on Thursday. As long as your goal ain't to get rich and really famous, all growth. Oh yeah, no, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not the whole rich and famous. I think if anything for me, it's being able to do what I love and at least be able to afford living. I just say that. So it's not about getting rich, but it's at least being able to continue doing this. Bills. So yeah, I got you. So yeah, for sure, watch my video Thursday. It'll be edited, so it'll have the timer on there. Gotta get paid somehow, right? It'll have the rest break in there. It'll show you what exercise is next. You know, that great elevator music y'all love. So so it's definitely gonna be about growing the glutes, quads, and hamstrings. So definitely tune in. Yeah, if you hit 50K to 100,000, that's huge. So overall, I think my page overall has over 100,000 views since I first started. Um, but I have to look at how I'll have to look at my analytics, and I'm gonna go back and see what my views look like in the past 2.5 months to see what it's looking like. Yeah, this is I don't have a, how do I say this? Right now it's about consistency for me. I think that's one thing I was trying to tell everybody in the beginning when I first started this is I was trying to see how consistent I could be. And I feel like if I can be consistent with this, it'll help me grow to be consistent in other areas of my life. So yeah, at the end of the day, of course, I think everybody would love to get paid for what they're doing, but yeah, I'm not rushed. My goal is to see how long I can stay consistent with posting content, and see what that brings, right? Because everybody's always preaching consistency, consistency. Even me, I'm always saying you need to be consistent in the gym. And so I want to see if you truly put that in other avenues of your life, will you get positive results as they say you will, right? Especially if you're putting out good content. Well, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it. Y'all know I love good compliments, so I'll take it. Uh, so hopefully, yeah, I hope that does help. I'm also trying to build my TikTok page, my Instagram page. So, but thank you all. Thank you all for joining me today. I am done. I have hit my goal for today. Um, I'll be back Friday for full body cardio live, but make sure you tune in Thursday. Normally, I should it should be posted right at 11:30. So I'm gonna try to schedule it to post between 11 and 11:30. That way, I stick to kind of my normal time. But I'm gonna post that video. Remember, we're hitting legs Thursday, and Friday I'm back here live, and then Sunday we're juicing. So let me know if you have anything particularly y'all want me to juice. Um, but other than that, y'all have a good day. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Gib, Pow Pow, Art of War. But thank all of you all for for tuning in today. Teresa, Los, thank you all. I will see you all Friday. All right, all right.